you don't lack discipline, honey. Your nervous system is doing exactly what it was trained to do. Welcome back to Bitch You Can. I'm Amy, I'm your business big sis, I'm your healing hype girl, and I am that voice to remind you, bitch, you can. Welcome back, episode 28. This is the last episode before the live recorded episode in front of a live studio audience. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I am low-key, I don't know why, I feel nervous, okay? I'm not gonna lie. I am shitting my pants. I'm gonna be sat here, I'm gonna try and get this chair down there. I don't know if I'm gonna get down the hatch. Wish me luck. Next episode's gonna sound a bit different. It's gonna be a bit different. We're gonna switch it up. It's not gonna be our general chit-chat in me fucking loft. It's gonna be a live studio audience. What the fuck? If you don't know what I'm talking about fucking Activated. Where have you been? Activated is happening next Monday. When you're listening to this on Thursday, we'll have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 fucking days until I wake up thinking, what have I done? No, I'm joking. No, I'm not. I'm really excited. I am really excited. It's going to be fucking sensational. Oh my God, I feel I have so much to say about Activated, but I'm also like, guys, let's do the episode, because otherwise I'll be sat here for half an hour telling you about fucking Activated. But it is my live event. If you haven't got tickets, at the moment, there is only a select few tickets left. I am doing a cheeky little act of kindness on the last 10 tickets. As it stands, I think there's 6, as I'm recording this, left. There may be less now, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm doing a little act of kindness because I don't want there to be any reason that somebody can't come to this event because of any X, Y, and Z reasons. If you want to know what that is, on Thursday, just DM me over on @It'sAmyJones. DM the word tickets. Just send me the word tickets and it will come through to you exactly what it is. So I love and appreciate every single one of you that is coming. I literally cannot wait. Really wanted to like dive in and show everybody everything, but I'm also like, no, I want it to be a surprise. Because it is that sick. It honestly, I've never seen anything like it. I am crazy lady and I'm psychotic and I've lost my fucking mind, but it's gonna be so beautiful. Anyway, let's get into episode 28, shall we? Your habits are just your nervous system on autopilot. So obviously the last few weeks we have really dived into the feeling, the power of who we are, really figuring out what our purpose is, you know, unraveling many years of bolting everything shut and shoving everything down deep inside. We're going to tap into the sciencey bit. Now, I've mentioned this book multiple times on this podcast, Atomic Habits. It's my favourite book. After the event, I'm actually going to read it again because it's going to be one of them books I read every fucking year. Because I think loads of us read something or see something and we digest it once and that's it. When actually, I have over the last few months realised that it's the repetition. It's it going in your brain. Like Atomic Habits, what I digested, half of it is in there, but some of it is like somewhere else in the brain. And also, why only read something once? Like really ingest it, make it repetitive, because your beliefs are derived from what you evaluate. So we need to reevaluate all the fucking time. So yes, I'm going to read that again after the event and I'm really excited because I love that book. It's my favourite. So yeah, we're going to tap into how we're actually going to make it stick, because now we're into the new year. Habits, a lot of you, we're like the second week in January, aren't we? Or the third? We're the second, right? Second week of January. Some of you may even find these new habits, these new resolutions that you was doing are starting to taper off, or, you know, you're snoozing a bit more, or you're starting to get that burnout bit. You started off on a high. Maybe it depends on where you are in your cycle as well, because for anyone who doesn't understand their cycle, please understand it, because your menstrual cycle has a massive impact on your performance, on how your body is operating, everything. Like, I really took the time over the last maybe 2-3 years to really understand my cycle, where I'm at with it, what it means for my body. And recently I had blood tests which see that I'm very low in ferritin, which is to do with your iron. So my iron levels are great, they're fine, but it's to do with how your body stores it. And takes it around the body. I don't know if that's 100% accurate. Don't at me if it's not. But essentially, I'm fucked. Apart from 1 week of the month, I am not great. I've gone through a lot of consultations and different consultants, and it has been said that I'm textbook endometriosis. So that, on top of everything else and the trauma and the trying to heal myself and my children and my businesses and everything, has been hard. So if you're somebody who does struggle, whether that be mental health, physical health, autoimmune, anything, that can really affect you. And it doesn't mean you're lazy, doesn't mean you're fucking broken, doesn't mean that you're not capable. It just means you have to go with your body. You have to listen to your body and understand it. So for me now, I understand that my ferritin is so low and that's why I'm suffering, and the endometriosis. So on my blood tests, I was like 95% optimum health, right? On my blood test, the only two high things was my cortisol and my ferritin. No, not high. So yeah, high cortisol. So that was in the red. Very high cortisol. And then the ferritin was in the red because it was so low. So they're my two things. Everything else, great. I was worried I had something wrong with my thyroid. I wasn't sure. So if anyone needs to know what's up with them, I went and had a private blood test. If anyone wants to message me about it privately, please do. I'm really an open book. But yes, I had that, and that really opened my eyes. Whatever your circumstances, whatever your lifestyle is, whatever the weather, basically, because I understand not everybody has the same challenges, but everyone does have their own challenges, and what may be 20% hardness for you could be 80% hardness for someone else, or what could be 90% hardness for you could be like 30% for someone else. So everyone's so different. That's why this episode is really important, so we can dive into actually how we sustain these habits, rather than just doing them for 2 weeks, hitting burnout because we're about to hit our cycle, then it goes down and then we can't get the momentum back, and then we feel like a piece of shit, then we compare ourselves to other, and then we're back to square one, then we have a great week again. People think habits are due with motivation, even discipline, because I know I've done an episode around how discipline over motivation, but habits come down to neither discipline or motivation. Now just wait a sec. It's about safety, familiarity, can't say that word, being familiar, and repetition. Your brain loves efficiency. Habits are actually shortcuts. You'll be surprised at how many habits you have. I'm not just talking about the habits of not scrolling on TikTok or getting up and going to the gym or making sure you eat your breakfast. I'm talking about habits being brushing your teeth, they're in autopilot. Habits being walking down the stairs, knowing where you're walking, turning on a light. Like, I don't know if anyone's ever done this where they've moved house or they've changed something around in their house. Like, we've just had our chimney reinstated, and before we had our clock, a big massive clock on the chimney, and now our TV is there. It took us a good couple of weeks to stop looking up at the chimney breast to check the time, because it was a habit that we didn't even know. It was like this habit going on in the background, and until the clock wasn't there, you realise how many fucking times a day I'm looking to see what the time is. So it's not just about the conscious habits, it's about the subconscious habits too, because your brain's always going to choose familiar over better. So if something once kept you safe, or something served you a purpose, like for me, scrolling on TikTok until I deleted it, or watching YouTube videos until ridiculous time in the morning, because I could not bear the thought, and my body couldn't bear, and my brain, to be in my own thoughts on my own in darkness and just laying there in my own thoughts, because my brain is fucking million miles an hour, and sometimes they can be intrusive, and in the past they have been very dark thoughts, especially when I was in the crux of my trauma. It was night terrors, it was nightmares, it was not being able to sleep, it was waking up in the middle of the night in fucking sweat. It was a lot. And so by scrolling on my phone or having my TV on, when I was 15, I had a TV in my room and I would have that on at night. As I moved out, I didn't have a TV in my room anymore, so I would use my phone. So that was my safety. My brain noted that habit keeps me safe. So even now, I'm not saying I'm fucking perfect, and I will never come here and say I'm perfect, because you will never stop evolving and growing as a person. Even now, I can go back into that habit of watching YouTube videos till late, until my eyes are falling asleep and I go to sleep. Even though I know to cure that for me was listing gratitudes and filling me with joy and doing this healing and knowing that it is okay to be in my own thoughts because they're not those dark, scary thoughts anymore. But my brain, it's an old habit and it is wired in there. And sometimes if I'm feeling overwhelmed, if I'm feeling a bit burnt out, if I'm feeling a bit scared, or my subconscious is frightened and I feel like I'm in danger, even if I'm not consciously aware of it, I slip into that old habit. So like recently with the event, I'm not going to lie, I have been overwhelmed, and there has been times where I'm like, I literally have been on my laptop and my phones from the moment I've woken up till the moment I'm about to go to bed. There's too much going on in my brain. I haven't been able to decompress. I haven't had any self-care today. I haven't even had time for myself today. I'm really struggling. So what happens is I get into bed, and as much as I don't want to, it's just a habit, and I go and I start watching a YouTube video. And these YouTube videos, I'm gonna out myself, it's gamers. A lot of it is horror games. I grew up on horror. I don't know if it was a trauma response, but I used to watch horror films and play horror games. But that is a deep wired habit, and the reason why is because my brain sees that as safety. Not because I'm lazy, not because I'm incapable, not because I'm fucking broken, not because I don't want to be better for me, just because my brain sees that as a familiarity. I can't say it. Familiarity. It sees it as a familiar fucking thing, and it sees it as this is safety for her. So this can look like procrastinating before you start something, because it's that fear, like subconsciously deep down, again, it's your belief system. It's that you don't believe you're capable of it or whatever. So you'll get on, you're sat at procrastination station and you can't move forward because, again, it's a habit that you've wired along the way somewhere. And that's why it's so important to do this work and uncover where that change has happened, where you can pinpoint it, because that's the only way you can change it. Like I say, I ain't perfect. I know exactly where my bad habits have come from and where they've stemmed from. And whilst, yes, I do try and steer clear of them and I do try and change them, I'm not perfect, and sometimes I do fall into old habits, and that's okay. Doesn't mean like I'm a failure, guys. Another one is overworking. Again, that's one of mine. Overworking because I determine my worth due to the usefulness of other people, so that in turn I will overwork myself. Me and Luke talked about this the other day actually, where I will sit there and I will overwork. I won't take a break, so I don't eat, I don't drink. Like, they're the dark places I can get into because I'm seeing my worth as how useful I am. I'm much better at that now. I do think it's also hyperfixation with ADHD. I think that is a part of it too. But it is, again, it's that rewiring, it's that deep need of it's safety. Well, it's not safe, but you know what I mean? It's my brain's conditioned to believe that is safety, because then if on the other end of it, I think I've been so useful to so many people, I've won, even though I haven't eaten properly in 4 days because I've been in such a hole. I don't know if I edited this bit out, but last week I said how I was celebrated, and I did a little post on this. I was celebrated for things that were literally burning me out so bad, and one of them is when I won my first award. I was underweight, my hair was falling out bad, and I was really burnt out. I wasn't eating properly, and this, again, I feel like this is another thing I want to dive into this year, of really understanding that side of me, because I don't know quite where that bit comes from. I was in quite a toxic relationship when I was younger, where gym was an obsession. The need for me to go to the gym was also an obsession, and what I put in my mouth was also an obsession for that person. Like, I literally had food smacked out of my mouth before. As I'm going to eat it, it smacks away. So I don't know if there's a deep-rooted thing within there, because I actually, do you know what? Sorry, I'm going off on quite a tangent this week, but when I was younger, I don't know how old I must have been, 16, I used to take fat burners, which are so fucking dangerous for you, because anyone that doesn't understand, and again, I'm no scientist, but fat burners accelerate your heart rate because it wants you to burn more. They are so fucking dangerous and should not be played with. in my opinion, for a fat burner. I used to take fat burning pills that my boyfriend at the time bought me, along with all these fucking other supplements. My dad used to get so angry at me. I'd come home and I'd eat like raw green beans, egg white, so I'd throw away the yolk. He'd get so fucking fuming at me. He says, don't fucking waste that. Why are you throwing that away? And I'm like, no, it's no good for me. What? So I'd eat egg whites, and then I'd just have a protein shake, and then I'd have it with all of these fucking green tea pills, fucking fat burners, all sorts. Now, I was 16. I literally, when I look back, I was not overweight at all. I was not overweight. There was no need for me to take that. And I was someone who had high anxiety. I was fresh out of trauma because I had trauma when I was 15. I had high anxiety anyway. No wonder I probably couldn't fucking go to sleep. My heart was like this. I used to get heart palpitations all the time. I've digressed there, but that's something I'm going to dive into because, again, I just feel like this sort of shit we should speak about, and we shouldn't be ashamed to speak about, because this is what shapes us. This is how we learn. This is how we evolve. And me talking about this, if this can help one person, then I'm going to fucking talk about it all day. And also an old timer that we love, saying yes even though your boundary says no. That is also a realm of safety, because obviously if you were brought up to believe, like to tiptoe around, and you had to say yes, and you had to be mindful of others, and you basically had to shrink yourself because of maybe people you lived with or people around you. So that can be derived from there. So it's not that your habits are bad, they're just very outdated from an old version of you that would literally mask, shrink, and was doing things because she believed that would keep her safe, where now we need to banish that out and realise, actually, no, that isn't what keeps us safe. It's what keeps us stuck. What keeps us in this vicious cycle. So let's fucking break it together, baby. In terms of new year, new me energy, never really works, because if you overload your nervous system with new habits and a new routine, and all this newness and all this change, you're going to put yourself into overload. You're going to put your nervous system into, what the fuck's going on? I'm overwhelmed just thinking about doing all this new shit. Because the new habits are uncertainty. You've not done them before. Even though logically, yes, me getting up half an hour earlier so I can have breakfast, I'm not saying you got to get up at fucking 5 a.m. and go to the gym and do a HIIT workout for an hour. I'm being realistic here. If you're someone who cannot physically get out of bed and then you're rushing around to get your kids to school, or you're rushing to work, you're already in high cortisol, high adrenaline, and you're not starting your day off right for you. So even if it means getting up half an hour earlier, eating, having time for you, I know logically that's good. But subconsciously, that is uncertain. That is scary, because your nervous system is so used to the old habit. And like I always say, your habits, everything you do day to day, whether that's your subconscious or your conscious habits, they are compiling with you or against you. So they're either working for you, so the brushing your teeth, because I read this in one of Stephen Bartlett's books, can't remember which one it was now, either Diary CEO or Happy Sexy Millionaire. And it basically said, if you... it was an example he used about when he was younger and he thought he was really cocky because he hadn't brushed his teeth and his teeth were fine. And he's saying to his dentist is like, yeah, if you don't brush your teeth a couple of times, it'll be fine. But if you don't brush your teeth for 5 years, I'll see you here with like all these fillings and new teeth or whatever. And that's exactly how habits work. You know, if I don't brush my teeth today, they ain't going to be fucking scurvy like I'm from the 1800s as a pirate tomorrow. But if I don't brush them for 5 weeks... 10 weeks, a year, whatever, they will start to be fucked. And then when I go to the dentist, I'm going to have teeth pulled, babe. And it ain't going to be fun. Do you see what I mean? That subconscious habit of me brushing my teeth twice a day is the fact of it is working for me, right? It's working for me. If I drop one day, or if I go fall asleep on the sofa and I haven't brushed my teeth one night, whatever, it's not going to fuck up the whole thing. And this is another thing, right? I'm going to get into why New Year, New Me doesn't work. It's another thing it doesn't work, because as soon as one thing is out, you sleep in one day, that's it. You give it all up. You think you're a failure and you go right straight back to your old habits. That's why the change feels uncomfortable. It's not that you're failing, it's uncertainty for your nervous system as it is now. And that's why we have to gradually change it. That's why we need to bring in these bits. You don't rise to the new level of these goals. You don't rise up there. You actually fall with your systems. So that's why, and when I say your systems, I don't mean your fucking funnel on Instagram. I mean your systems of day to day, what you do every single day, what your core system is once you wake up to the moment you go to bed, and what you do every day on autopilot. You fall, and I don't mean that negatively, but you fall to those systems. So it's not about rising to your goals, it's about falling in line with your system. So that's why small habitable changes, like small changes, is my favorite thing. Small fucking changes every day create habits, and habits is what hard to break. So if you start changing all these fucking goals and you put them in place, that's what makes it really hard for you to sustain it. Whereas if you make small bite-sized changes every day, that's what creates your habits, that's what creates your new system, and that's what falls into place. And that's what keeps going. What is it they say? Isn't it like 30 days or 90 days for a habit to stick? That is a long time. So if you miss one day, think about this now. Every time you think about a habit or a new goal or a new thing you want to implement in your day, whether that's drinking more water or whatever, if you slip off one day, don't fuck it all up. Just think about when you brush your teeth, because I know even as an adult, there's been days where you ain't brushed your teeth because you've forgotten, or you forgot your toothbrush and you've gone away, or you've fucking fallen asleep on the sofa, whatever. Are your teeth fucked? No. Do you pick up and brush your teeth again the next day? Yes. I hope you do. That's what I'm trying to get at here, is it's all about small changes every day. And if one day you don't have that change in place and your system doesn't quite go how you want it to, don't worry. Tomorrow's a new day and you try it again. Don't just fuck it all off. If you try and change your whole life overnight, which I know you do every 1st of fucking January and probably every middle of the year, maybe even every month you do this, no shade. If you try and change your whole life overnight, your nervous system's going to rebel against you. It's not going to want to do those things. It's going to seek out, because it's uncertain. This is unsafe for your nervous system. Logically, it's safe. For your nervous system, it's unsafe. So it's all about unteaching that and showing and giving evidence. Like I say, your beliefs are derived from evaluation. So every day is a re-evaluation. Every day is another day to excel. That's why the new year, new me never sticks. That's why when you try and just go in with, I'm going to go to the gym 6 times a week, I'm going to only eat this for the rest of the week, I'm going to cut carbs, I'm going to go keto, I'm going to post 8 times a fucking week. Implement small things. Like for me, reading is a massive thing for me. I hate what I'm about to say. I don't have time. I don't have time. Of course I fucking have time. I don't make the time, let's be real. I don't make the time to sit and read a whole hour of a book, because I always believed if I sit down to read a book, I want to sit there for at least 40 minutes and I want to read the book, right? How I used to before kids and before I had responsibilities. So actually, do you know what I started doing? And I've actually come out of this habit and it's really upsetting me. So I'm about to start it back up again. I would read 10 minutes a day in the sauna at the gym. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, God's sake, Amy. Like, I don't go in the sauna. Fuck off. Ugh, with this sauna. But I basically habit stacked. So I was going in the sauna every day after my gym workout, because that was my reward after my gym workout, or say 5 times a week, whatever. And I would go in and I'd take my book. Now some of my books really fell apart. I would read for 10 minutes. By me reading 10 minutes a day, I finished a book within a month. And I actually read the most books I've ever read in 2025. That's only because I used to do 10 minutes a day. You see what I mean? If I tried to force myself to do an hour a day, it wouldn't work. But 10 minutes, 5 times a week, just because I stacked it with something, beautiful. I actually read books. So that is something I'm going to really implement, because I have gone off the bandwagon on that one. And because I don't go to that gym anymore. So I'm currently waiting for my new sauna. So let me give you the 3 principles that change it for me. And this is the core value of Atomic Habits. So if you've read this is a reminder. If you've not read that book, I definitely would recommend it. But this is going to be a good starting point for you. Number 1, make it tiny. If it feels too easy, you're doing it right. Like I said with the reading, 5-10 minutes over an hour. Just one decision over a full fucking routine. And one tiny habit over 10 fucking goals. So make it small. Make it as small as possible. So for me, again, going back to the reading, I didn't compute how I would read a book it seemed pointless to me to read for 10 minutes a day. Like, if anything, it actually would, at the beginning, it would annoy me, because I'd want to keep reading and I'd get really annoyed and I'd be like, oh, I feel like a stop, start. But actually, that's how that 10 minutes of digestible reading got me to finish book in a month. better than not reading at all and not doing something that I enjoy. And that's also going to help me, right? Attach it to something that you already have in place. So like I said, for me, I habit stacked with the sauna. So reading and sauna, because I was doing the sauna anyway, and I just sit in there and just stare at the wall and count it down, because I'd be like, I'm dying, because I get a bit too much. I get a bit claustrophobic. So attach it to something existing. This could be something as small as, if you want to start talking to yourself better and kinder, and you want to do affirmations, or you want to do gratitudes, or you want to do a bit of manifestation, or you want to kind of visualize something as simple as, if you have a coffee every day, say in the morning, first thing you do is have a fucking coffee. I would say have a glass of water first, because it's much better for your skin, digestive system, gut, and your cortisol, everything. But say you have whenever you're making your coffee, have it as a trigger. So if you are making your coffee and you're stirring, as you're stirring, do an affirmation to yourself, do some gratitudes, do a bit of visualization. Like for me, if I was thinking, I'd be thinking about activated, and I'd be visualized as I'm stirring my cup of tea, my coffee, whatever. I'd be thinking, hell yeah, think of all these women looking at you on stage. Wow! So even if it's something as simple as that, habit stack, attach it to something existing. So like brushing your teeth, you could be doing affirmations because you're staring in the mirror. That's really, I tell all my girls in my group to do this, and a lot of them were like, ugh, this makes me feel really uncomfortable. But honestly, it changes the game, because you've got to really believe it. So if every day when you're brushing your teeth, because that's a subconscious habit that you have, you're staring at yourself in the mirror whilst you're brushing your teeth, say something nice to yourself, do your affirmations, whatever they are, whether that's self-love, money, gratitude, whatever, do your affirmations then. Start stacking your habits together. Rather than trying to make this whole fucking routine, stack small habits on top of each other, because then they will actually stick, and then you can move on to, right, now how can I implement a new habit in? We've got to make it tiny and attach it to something existing. So number 3 is identity over intensity. You don't build habits by trying harder. You build them by changing how you see yourself. And that's going to be the hardest pill for you to swallow. That's going to be the hardest thing for you to action. The hardest thing that's going to go in your ears this whole fucking podcast. It's not about trying harder, pushing harder. I'm not capable. I can't do it. I'm just a lazy bastard who can't get out of fucking bed in the morning. It's how you see yourself. And let me be real. The past week, I've really struggled to get out of bed. And it's because I had a wobble. It's because I had a moment. I also was on my period. I had a moment. So my mental clarity is always a bit foggy when I'm on my period. I call it the dragon. And if I snap at Luke, I'm like, oh, the dragon's about to come. And if I'm getting really aggy, or if I'm breaking down into tears, and that's why the merch was so intense last week, my cycle really affects me. Like, I'm someone who feels anyway, you know this, but my cycle really fucking affects me. I'll be honest with you, me not getting out of bed is because and again, I fell into old habit of being safe by scrolling and watching videos and watching horror games on YouTube. And it changed how I saw myself. So then my habits become a lot harder. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying this for a sob story. I'm saying this so that you see it in a way like, fucking hell, okay. Next time your habit doesn't quite go to plan, you're not just going to throw it all away, because we're all the same. No one's perfect. Even if there's people out there like, I get up at 5 a.m. every day and I run and I have my matcha and then I fucking sit there and watch the sun come up and then there are some days and there's sometimes during that month, during that week, during that year, where they haven't always done that. But it's the fact that they get back up and they start that routine again. It's okay. Doesn't mean you're a failure. Just means tomorrow's a new day and we try again. Because every habit you stack, every habit you implement, every habit that you do every day is a vote, is evidence, is building your case for the person, the woman that you're fucking becoming. That's why activation is not about motivation. It's about alignment and fucking repetition. Let's do Healing Girl homework. I want you to choose one habit that you want to build this month. Okay, and then I want you to break it down into 3 bullet points. So choose one habit you want to build this month, and it could be anything you want, business, personal, whatever you want. What I want you to write then, break into three steps. What does that habit replace? When will it happen? And how small can I make it so my nervous system doesn't panic? So I want you to really dive into that habit. Just pick one. Don't pick a load, just pick one. And let's just see how you can integrate that, how you can make it safe for you, because don't forget, your habit you could build on. Like my 10 minutes of reading a day, so I can finish a book in a month, I then could build on that and be like, you know what, I'm going to have 10 minutes a day of reading. One in the morning with my sauna, and then one before bed. And I'm going to get back into reading before bed rather than being on my phone. I'm going to leave my phone in another room. Okay, so how do I build that? How do I make that safe for me? How do I detach from when I'm feeling overwhelmed? How do I detach from automatically going onto YouTube and watching a horror game till fucking 1 o'clock in the morning? Like, how do I do that? And that's what it's about, really understanding you. It's not just going, I'm going to get up at 5 every day now, when you can't get out of bed at 8. You see how hard. So why don't you start and go, right, I'm going to get out of bed at 7, or I'm going to get out of bed at 7:30. If you get out of bed at 8, get out of bed at 7:30. Once you get used to 7:30, then we push it back to 6:30, and then see how you feel. Because everyone says 5 a.m. club, but you don't have to be up at 5. You don't have to wake up at 5 if you don't want to. If you want to, then fuck yeah, get up at 5. I've done the 5 a.m. club. I've also done 6 a.m. club. I've also done fucking 10:30 club. On Sunday, I woke up at 10. I had 10 and a half hours sleep. I woke up at 10:30 a.m. and I could not believe it. I couldn't believe it. That's how your habits are going to change. Gently, intentionally, and consistently. Because you don't need another fucking personality. You don't need more fucking motivation. You don't need to fix yourself, because remember, you ain't broken. It's just all about understanding you and what's built you in this way, and how we can integrate that, how we can help that. You just need systems that support the woman that you are becoming. These systems don't have to be big, scary, massive leaps. They can just be small, intentional changes every fucking day. Your future isn't built by big fucking breakthroughs. It's built in the small choices repeated every day. Remember, small changes every day create habits, and habits are hard to break. And I know you got this, because bitch, you fucking can. And that's it. That is a wrap. So the next episode you listen to is going to look and sound a little bit different. I wish me fucking luck, huns. If you are coming, I better get a whoop in the crowd, hun. And if you're not coming, why not? Why not? Please tell me why. I'm doing the act of kindness that I spoke about. So if you do want to come, if there's been something that's holding you back, message me over on It's Amy Jones on Instagram and have a little chat with me. My DMs are open, because I know what this event is going to do for people. If you feel moved by the podcast, the event's going to fucking crack you open and spin you around and plonk you back down in that seat as a whole new effing woman. And like I say, it's not about fixing you. It's not about changing you. It's about bringing you back to who you always are and who you always are meant to be, and that version of you that's buried so deep down. So if I can help one woman come back home to herself without being cheesy, then everything that I'm doing this for has been worth it. Like, everything I've done is so worth it. I'm so grateful that you continue to support me. Please share this with anybody who you think may need a little help with some habits as we are in January. Please like, rate and subscribe on whatever platform you're watching or listening. Oh my god, it's activated time. I literally can't believe it. I literally can't believe it's here. I don't even understand how it's happening, but we're here. I'll see you in the next one. Love you, bye.